Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good luck for Billy Weekly 219th Deathmatch. This is Pirate R commentating for the game between Gozik and Daller-David. Alright, so I'm gonna message them. Alright, so let's go for it. I'm going to reduce the zoom size, maximize my page, and okay, so we have clothing from Gozik and Daller-David has masonry. He could collect cards for masonry, but Gozik could cause a lot of trouble. There's always a very difficult thing. And if Gozik has two different colors, he could actually make a mess of the situation. Okay, well, that's a pretty good. Ooh, that's always good to have. Wheel. Now this game has, I think these two. I'm seeing these two players for the first time in the final of a death match. They're both really good players, the best of the best, of course, and they have beaten some really good players. Gozik has beaten uh, Swarius and Super Dennis, and Daller-David has beaten Pai Wong, Jujubes, and somebody. Oh, and Block Moonoid. So yeah, that's pretty good record both of them have had. So so now it's a thoughtful moment. Gozik is collecting cards to see what he could do. I did tell them there is no hurry, they can take their time to think, so I do not want them to hurry. But my one request was, maybe keep the game around 1 hour or so, because sitting in front of a 2 hour game gets to be a bit tough. Commentating, of course, by myself, and of course, the viewers will get, you know, well, viewers can actually move the point forward. So, yep. And I got a cup of hot tea. Well, it's actually chai, not tea. And what was the deal with the. Which game was that? Spider Man? It's not chai tea or tea tea, it's chai, not tea. I have a cup of chai. All my Russian friends know what is chai. I think a lot of my European friends also know what is chai. So I have a cup of hot chai, which is a little too hot for me to actually drink. So I'll just wait for it to cool down. So, huh, nice. He's going for masonry, but I doubt he has. What are the cards that would be available? I mean, there would be two, three reds, and city states and mysticism. So one, two, three. Nice. Pretty good. Good job. That turned out to be pretty good for Daller-David. Hmm. That's always good to not cover the wheel, right? At least no supremacy. No, it's masonry. It's oh yeah, he's looking for supremacy. I think that's empire. I think Europeans actually have different names for um, Europeans have different names for these cards actually. Even Canadians do, but then no, Canadians actually sometimes use French keyboard. So yeah, a Canadian friend asked me. He kept choosing what was that societies, and he said, "What is the name of the purple card? The purple card that you've been using all this time? Why don't you know it?" Well, it's a new friend. Oh, okay. It's societies, man. Quit using it. So yeah, of course I lost that game because dang societies. Oh, Gozik has writing in his hand. What does Daller-David has in his hands? We have no idea. Daller-David could actually go for mysticism. I don't know. It's always good to have the wheel. There we go. Is he looking for mats? Well, okay, so you know what? If Gozik shares clothing, he will. I mean, Daller-David will actually score 4 points if Gozik ends up sharing because he's not going to share, right? Hmm. Maybe something yellow since masonry is already done. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, there goes construction. Now if he has what's that thing? Yeah, machinery. I was about to say machinery because he's gonna do construction and get the empire, but next thing we know, well, guess what? It's gonna go away, right? Maybe it's time to meld. What's that thing? Road building. If you have that. Oh, there you go. That's even better. Fermenting. Since clothing is kind of useless, what could combat fermenting? Well, if he has the blue card, what's that? Alchemy. That would give him one extra leaf, but I don't think Gozik is looking into that. He could just use machinery in case he has a castle in hand and they both get to score a card with a castle from their hand, right? Philosophy is a good card to have, of course. Game is going pretty interesting and a pretty good speed actually. He could share writing and get two threes in his hand, but we don't know. The only way he could compete with philosophy is if he has paper, education. Hmm. Okay, well, that's always good to do. Ooh, construction, okay. Excuse me, I got a little bit of um, sore throat. Does David have. Hmm, okay, wondered if he had that too in hand. What was that too? Currency, because that would be great to have. But then you know what? You can do philosophy and do a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's always good. Do all that and yeah, my chai is at perfect level. In fact, it's actually more cool than it is hot. Well, so it's not perfect anymore, but whatever. Alright, so we are thinking Gozik is almost 600 yellow. Pretty good player from what I can see, obviously. He hasn't played a lot of games, and this is the. Is that his first tournament ever? Because I don't remember seeing his name in tournaments before now. And of course, he is doing writing, but you know what? He could take. He could do construction again. Hmm. Okay, so he got a couple of fours. He's looking for gunpowder, isn't he? He may be. I'm just going to call him David. He is thinking, construct. Okay, that's good to do. And he could get. No, he didn't. Okay, that means gunpowder is useless now. But you know what? The wheel is always good to have. The wheel. He can score something with philosophy and use calendar. That's always good. If he displays the yellows, okay, now everything is just castles at this time. Even for the, yep, even for Gozik's board, so far it's only castles for all the left plays. Yeah, that's my room spray. That's the Glade. We need to change the battery in that. Alright, so Gozik is thinking about his next move. Uh, let's see. So far, it's been regular conversation. Da 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 da. Which country is Gozik from? He is from Uzbekistan. Interesting. English and Russian are his games. David is from Sweden and he speaks Slavic. That's not Slavic, that's Swedish, but it's written SV. I think that's supposed to be Swedish, unless there's another language that I am not familiar with the initials. Well, whatever. Alright, so Gozik is thinking now gozik, does he have yeah, education is not going to do anything because fours are already there. Like I said, he can just use machinery and score something with castles. He has a bunch of cards in his hand. So at this time, I mean, David can either do colonialism and tuck a bunch of cards and get some icon majority. Ah, there you go. There's paper. But, you know, that's going to get a lot of stuff in David's hands, right? And if Guzik has, education, that might work really well with paper. He could do paper a couple of times and collect a bunch of fours or fives. That's always a good idea. Right? Paper is always very popular, especially if you have like road building. Oh yeah, road building is used chiefly for paper. And I have seen wars and wars over road building and paper, road building and paper. And I've seen fewer wars between what's that thing? Fewer wars between banking and what's that thing? Banking and combustion or coal. Banking gets used a few times too, and I know exactly who uses banking. I know a couple of friends. So that's good. So he is even with light bulb number, but we'll see. Yep, he's going with the wheel, the most popular um, choice at this time. I don't think he wants to share the philosophy at this time. I think that's why he is not. Woohoo, nice. So he's not going with the calendar. So now he needs a big uh, purple card. So Gozik's turn to think. It's 1:20 p.m. Central Time in the USA, and obviously afternoon in Europe. It's 1:30, so it would be what, like about 7:30, 8, 8:30, around that time in different European countries. So cool. Now it's a war of the light bulbs, right? There you go. Now David has the clear majority of light bulbs, and philosophy is actually gonna do. Well, I thought you were going to use invention, but okay. So they both um, clearly. Kozak is wondering whether he should use experimentation or not, but that is a 5 on David's bored as well, which he might not enjoy, right? Because it probably wouldn't want to share that. Alright, so chai is cold. Well, here goes chai. You sit here. And alright, and my cat is fast asleep or semi awake, and then she just like falls down into the couch as if that is the hardest thing in the world, falling asleep all day, going right back to sleep. Alright, so what do we have? We have Reformation. Cool. And you know what? He can actually probably tuck his cards and then use machinery to steal David's hand, right? Hmm. Blood sugar says, "Hey, I'm here." Alright, so let's see. Alchemy and anatomy. He shares alchemy and anatomy. Alright, so next time he can probably tuck. So yeah, David is not taking a risk. So David is gonna go for the Wonder Achievement straight. Hmm. Okay, so with paper, let's see. Now problem is that David will score fives with invention, right? I mean, he took his cards, but he's gonna give two of his fives to David. Um, Enterprise translation, measurement, navigation, statistics, perspective. Alright, so we're going for that. Okay, at achievement number 3. So David is doing actually pretty good. He will have the fourth and achievement, and then all he needs is a 5, right? But what was that? Gozik has statistics in his hands, right? He's gonna go for. Yep, I think he might just go for statistics because Monument is already out of the way, so Monument is useless taking through Reformation. But we'll see what we have. Machinery could take something, but machinery is useless because it's not going to let him score anything. I don't see I do not see a castle card in his hand. The 3 is translation. Enterprise will only take printing press, and with printing press without a high purple. I mean, he has Reformation, and he will have Enterprise, so it will only give him a 6, which is not very far, anyways. So Gozik is in trouble at this time. Daller-David, of course, could share fermenting, get two cards. Gozik will get two cards, and David will get two cards, which will wipe out the five pile. There you go. There comes statistics. You think David wants to go with colonialism, maybe? Get colonialism. There are a bunch of five crowns, right? There is, let's see. So, measurement is out. Let's see what are the fives we have with crowns. We have pirate code, banking, societies, astronomy. That is four cards that could actually wipe out the five pile. And then if he uses invention, he could actually score a six instead of fives, right? So that's my thought, but we'll see. And of course, printing press could actually get him a six as well by wiping out a two. I don't know. So yeah, none of the cards in his hands will actually take the card in his hand. Okay. Alright, so yeah, there you go. There's printing press. And a 7. With societies. So that means we don't know if somebody has a what's that thing? Astronomy. That's always a good card to have. And of course, uh, both players know what is exactly in the other player's hand, except that the 7 we don't know at this time. We will say, like I said, it could be combustion, which would take a few, uh, you know, cards out of there. There you go. There comes enterprise. And there's astronomy. And of course, he could always use calendar, share calendar, and get a six, couple of sixes in his hand. David could actually do calendar, grab couple of sixes. So fermenting will do that too. Fermenting will get gozik only one card, and it will get David three cards. Yeah, I think calendar would be better because that will give him that will give two fives to gozik and a five and two sixes to David. So what are the fives we're looking at? Well, there is a pirate code. Where is pirate code? Could be in David's hand, I think. Pirate code, pirate code, da 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 da. So David's turn to think. He's thinking. Here you go. And I think he's just gonna have castles, right? Yep, castles. Is Guzik going to go for statistics? Because seems like that is the only choice he has, right? Or he could just share paper and grab a couple of cards in his hand. Which are the cards that would take score from the other players? Like I said, it's a pirate code at this time. So if he has pirate code, he can go for that and steal some score. Gozik is thinking. I'm saying gozik. I don't know. It maybe gozik. I am not sure. But you know, the post game commentary will have to be done by fall because he usually does that with a Zoom calling. I haven't done that. I do not have. Well, I have Zoom, but I don't have the professional Zoom. So David doesn't want a 7 in his hand. He already has a 7 in his hand, right? So he's gonna go for a 6 in his hand. Okay, so there's a 1 got returned. He cannot do calendar, right? Ah, there's chemistry. Nice. Game has a lot of unexpected turns, like you expect with two really good players, right? And both of these players have done brilliant in this game so far, tournament so far, and of course they are the cream of innovation. Innovation is such a super game, just super stunning game, and I know people who have just gone crazy about innovation. They have been playing innovation for a few years and they show no chance of quitting, right? Oh, nice. So if he does chemistry, he's going to score an 8. So I don't think Gozak wants to use statistics because it usually gives pretty useful cards in the hands of other player, right? So let's see what is Gozak taking. Gozik. I would like to know the meaning of his name and what does it mean. I mean, what kind of name is that? I should have done my research though. I did. I'm just gonna do a bunch of, um, cooking today actually. I did baking yesterday. Today is cooking. And I have just gray hair. Oh, did I mention I'm not 14? So yeah, I have all gray hair and I need to stop scaring people, right? So the gray hair's gonna be gray be gone. Gray be gone. Oh, come on. No, don't do that, Gozik. Don't do that, please. Okay, so he's gonna do railroad, I'm sure. So is he gonna do like invention and then chemistry? Because that would give like a nice 8 in his hand, right? You know, Gosik, you have a 6 in your hand. Is that like a yellow? I think it may be a yellow. What is that one? Draw and tuck a 6. If you do score all your top cards without a factory, yeah, that's canning. Canning, that may be canning in Gozik's hand, unless it's encyclopedia, which is kind of like eh, unless you have something super in your hand. Nice, atomic theory. Alright, so he's gonna. Okay, so he's gonna get rid of the 2. And of course, he's gonna do invention now to get an extra card, right? In his score pile. What is that 7? That actually yellow card that takes the 2 highest cards in your hands with the lowest 2 cards in my hand. I keep forgetting their names. Whatever. I'm sure you guys know which card I'm talking about. It's a yellow card, H7. So there you go. There's steam engine. That might get him a few extra points. Alright, so Gozik's turn. Gozik is wondering. He doesn't want an 8 in David's hand. I'm pretty sure about that. Ooh, nice. Evolution. So, evolution, he's gonna score an 8. And next turn he's gonna get a 9, right? Here you go. That's a pretty good card to have. So he scores an 8 and he returns a 1, I'm sure. Now the deal with Railroad is that, Gozik doesn't share it, right? Gozik doesn't have any clocks on his board yet. So he doesn't have to get rid of all the cards. So we're looking at invention or steam engine. David, let's see. Yep, steam engine. And invention, I'm sure. Because that's gonna score a 6. Oh, okay, he's gonna score another 8. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Gozik is wondering. Of course, getting a 9 in hand is always a good idea. I think that's what he's going for. He has 16 points on the board. Okay, he's gonna go for the next achievement. Right? He got the age 4 achievement. Okay. Right, because David cannot achieve the score achievements, so he can do it for the next couple more achievements. Let's see. David's turn to think. Game's pretty interesting. I'm enjoying it. I think most of the games I have done the commentary, I have really enjoyed. I mean, unless they get to be like totally one-sided, which is just a bummer. But otherwise, I mean, if one player has at least 4 achievement and the other has 6, or 5 versus 6 achievements, that is my favorite game, because that means it's not a one-sided game. One player wasn't unlucky or totally useless. Because that is what happens in quite a few games, and it's just a bummer because I don't even want to replay those games or even watch them unfold. But if there is like Dogma, it which comes as a surprise, it's of course wow. It's always a wow if there is a nice Dogma thing. Alright, so we are looking at this game. Daller-David is thinking. I am a spectator, of course. Duh. Me a spectator. Let's keep it here so we could see both boats. Alright, so yeah. I'm going to adjust it a little bit more because I don't know what's in the hand of gozik. Okay, so gozik has a 3-4-4-5. David has a 3-3-3-5-5. I think those threes are from statistics. All those threes and maybe 1-5. Yeah, 1-5 and all the threes are the result of statistics. I mean, gozik could actually win this by score achievements, using evolution, because he can keep scoring eights, and if he replaces all these cards, lower cards, with 8, he could end up having 48 points and 5, 6, 7. Yep, and then get a 9, and you know what? Get all those next achievements. So now David is actually thinking, because he's in a different place. He, like I said, he might still continue steam engine or do invention or colonialism as well, right? So monument, empire, and wonder are all out at this time. We still have the what is that, universe achievement, and what is the next one, world. So but 3, gozik has translation in his hand. So David draws a 7 and gets combustion, of course. So yeah, he could do evolution, get the next achievement, but David is gonna get 2 cards, which would be 2-2 and 2-8, which would actually mess up gozik, right? So let's see what gozik is thinking. That's a pretty, interesting point. Let's see. Thankfully, my speakers are not making all those strange sounds. My I'm at the desktop computer, and sometimes my speakers kind of get like a little staticky. My headphones are actually pretty decent. They don't make a fuss, but my speakers do. This is fine. Let's see what gozik is doing. Is he gonna go for the next score achievement? He could try that, but that means combustion is gonna get. Combustion is just going to mess him up, right? Yeah, I'm not worried about Alexa. She can do whatever. Okay, so Alexa had some weird notification, which I really don't care, so she can just, hang in there. Does he have banking? Even if he has banking, that's not enough crowns to steal combustion. He might just get chemistry or steam engine. Actually, yeah. There you go, there's a 9. So what are the nines we could be looking at? Let's see. Let's browse the base set of nines. Fission, composites is not going to help gozik. Genetics could be useful. Ooh, computers would be shared. Collaboration has to be shared. Nobody has enough green cards. Satellites would be wonderful. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, there comes translation. So combustion is not going to mess him up. Good job, gozik. I thought combustion is going to wipe him out, right? Alright, so let's see. So is it going to be steam engine and invention? I don't know. Let's see. David's turn to think. But you know what? Gozik has a 9 in hand. And if it is satellites, that would be pretty impressive because I know somebody who loves satellite. That's their favorite card. My favorite card is industrialization. I love industrialization, especially if I don't have to share it. So there you go. We have invention. And let's go for steam engine. Ooh, there comes banking. Banking doesn't get shared by anybody, of course. He's already played right. It would just help combustion. Oh, unless the 9 in his hand has a factory. Oh, that's a scary point. That's very interesting. Very, hmm, very interesting and finger biting point, right? My watch says it is time to stand. Okay, I'll stand. Whatever. Pretty interesting point, huh? Where's Block? Block, there's your favorite card over there. Oh, there goes statistics. Dang it. Okay. So, yeah, because you know what? David cannot share translation and get the achievement. Well, I doubt Gozi can get the achievement either, but I think he just doesn't want to fall victim to combustion. So let's see what he's going to melt. One, twos, and eights. David, I guess David does not want to melt the six in his score pile. Alright, there goes ores. Okay, well, there you go. Ores, he could always use currency, which is always fun. Socialism, nice. There's maths and antibiotics. You may take all cards from your hand. Okay, antibiotics. He could do antibiotics. Alright. Yep, he did it just to avoid the combustion because combustion can actually really screw him up. That's a good move, actually. Let's see how it works out in the end. So, David's turn. He has a couple of 8s in hand. Gozik has a 9 in hand. And there were a few 3s over there that we have no idea. Oh, yeah, education And we never saw the green card. We never saw alchemy. Okay, so compass, yeah. There was no compass, alchemy, medicine, education, or feudalism. So those cards are probably in the hands. There are only threes in his hand. Optics is gone. Paper is out. There is translation, printing press, tools, engineering, alchemy. Okay, there's paper, machinery, etc. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so we're looking at rocketry and mass media, right? Because those cards got wiped out with statistics. Tall, why did you wake up? It's like 2 a.m. your time. Actually, 4 a.m. your time. Go back to sleep, man. So there's mathematics and there's miniaturization. If you return a 10 or 10 for. Oh. He could just do antibiotics, you may return draw to 8s. Now the thing is, mass media cannot do anything, right? Except for displaying the purple cards. And that would get shared. There's rocketry, which is also useless at this time. That's an interesting spot. So, David drew 2 8s. Gozik, he could do currency, score a 4 and a 5, and then use mathematics. So, well, the 4 and the 5 is gonna score him a 2 and a 2, so that's useless. Oh, and currency gets shared. So, and since he is behind on crowns, yeah, that's not going to work. Alright, just do antibiotics, man. Right? I think, yep. Antibiotics might be a good idea. I don't know. Because, currency may be difficult. Now, when he had ores on the board, yeah, that would not have worked. Because David has more castles. Alright, so Gozik's turn to think. Gozik is thinking, miniaturization is not going to do anything at this time. So let's go for antibiotics. I think that's the best move at this time, right? There are a bunch of 8s. Enterprise is gone. Have you seen societies? I think there was societies out there. There's astronomy, there's societies. And yeah, they're not much use, right? Excuse me. So it's almost 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Thankfully, not a.m. Okay, so he's going with antibiotics 4, 5, 10. He might just go for socialism, I don't know. Gozik is planning his next move. Um, so I'm pretty curious. Oh, Smoker got online, but it's a little late to invite, but yeah, the speakers are kind of going again. Alright, so I cut down the volume of the speakers, that should be fine too. Alright, so Gozik is thinking his next move. He has a bunch of cards in his hands. Nobody has the blue card that actually adjusts any all the cards on your board, right? Perspective, I believe. Yeah, perspective. So he still has a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? He can share currency because if David scores like a 3 and a 5 and an 8, he's only going to score a 2 and a 2 and a 3. So that will be what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards plus 6 plus 7 is equal to 13, right? And if he returns a 4, 8, 9, 10, that would be a 4 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 6 and maybe another 6, which would be enough. That would give him a shared 10, and yeah, he could actually win the game at that time. Excuse me. Got itchy scratchy throat again. Alright, so David drew a 9 and he's thinking about his second action. That's pretty cool, seeing all those great players planning their move. I still think share currency because Gozik has Gozik has a really good chance of scoring a lot of points. But you know what? David could actually return a bunch of threes and a 5 and an 8 and a 9. If he does that, he's going to score a 2 and a 2 and a 3 and a 3. No, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Yeah. It's not going to help David a lot. It will help Gozik a lot. So Gozik is still planning his yeah, okay, so he's doing antibiotics. He returns an 8, a 9, and a 10, of course. 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. So he wiped out all the 9s. Oh, he may be looking for stem cells. You may score all cards from your hand. Yep. Oh, yes, ecology will work. He could score a 9, draw two tens, and returns them with mathematics. Yep, that's a great plan. Okay, David's in trouble. He could do steam engine, right? Ooh, fission. He could get rid of. Okay. There you go. If it is red. Yeah, I think everything gets wiped out, right? I'll have to refresh my page because I still see all the cards. Okay, guys. That was awesome. Yes, that is true. I am, like I said, I am going to refresh my page to make sure that everything is yes. All right, so I guess Gozik drew a 1. That was pretty super. So yeah, okay, so Gozik got agriculture and David is drawing a 1. Okay. Guess what cards show up? That's hilarious. I'm still enjoying the game. That was awesome. Okay, so, huh? So, two crowns and alright, three crowns and three leaves. Two crowns and four leaves. Alright, so let's see. Nobody has any score, so navigation is not going to do anything. Road building could steal navigation, and but he has to collect a few cards. Does he have a bunch of cards? No, he doesn't. So it's just gonna be. Now the thing is, you only have sixes, sevens, and tens in hand, and pottery could actually wipe out cards a lot sooner. And navigation is not going to do anything, of course. Hmm, nice. There comes my favorite card, industrialization. And like I said, David could just do pottery, score a bunch of cards, and industrialization might actually help get rid of everything, right? He's gonna do canal building, right? Because other than that, there is not much option except for using pottery. Okay, so he's doing canal building because he doesn't want industrialization to run out of points, right? Out of the cards. Gozik is not exchanging, but David is. So let's see. Now, I mean, he could have melded some factories to be able to share industrialization, but then you know what? We don't know. Yeah, David could actually pottery his way to the next two achievements, right? Oh, cool. So the pottery plan goes to failure. Let's see what he's gonna do. It's so cool. That's some pretty impressive moves. I mean, metric system got buried, but you know what? He already has a wonder achievement. Let's see what is going on. he's gonna go with pottery. Gozik returned a 7. He's wondering if I should return a 1. But yeah, David might actually get a 1 in hand, or the 1 might actually stay. How does it work? You know, where are my mathematician friends? Yeah, I think Gozik might actually draw the 1 back after scoring a 7. I think he's going over the same mathematics, right? He returned a 7, he gets a 7, he gets a 7, and a bonus 7. So he might share pottery again. Now the fifth achievement will have 7. If he does light tick, he's got to score a 7 and a 10 and a 10. So that would be 20, 30, 34. So he could actually get sanitation. He could still do lightning and get the next achievement, right? The game is at such a scary situation. Game is at a scary situation. Gozik is thinking about it. The board got wiped out, of course, thanks to our fusion card, because he drew that red card, whatever that card was. Well, didn't that get returned? I don't remember. But whatever. And I got a stuffy nose. Thank you. How did I get a stuffy nose? I don't remember. Whatever, but I need to dye my hair. Come on, guys. I'm giving you 10 minutes to finish up the game because I gotta do some other work. And now both the purple 7s, what was that other one? Railroad is already gone. So, purple. Okay. Why is he doing that? Ooh, that was impressive. Cool, good job. Congratulations. That was interesting game. Getting 15 yellow is always awesome. Alright, I'm going to stop the stream.